An interesting episode of Aurogiri. So this is a topic that I get asked about all the time, or people are like, hey, what's up with Xbox? I hear they have glitches and stuff. What's going on over there? How come they don't get updates? Where are they at? Like, do they have new Onigashima? Do they have Poitaruma? And a lot of people on Xbox ask me, when are we getting this? When are we getting that? Because as things go, you know, PC is updated like weekly, bi-weekly, and then, hey, Gamer Loco. And PS4 is updated about monthly, bi-monthly, tri-monthly. Every couple months we get an update or something. And then Xbox, ever since the first, like, Edo and Oshu updates, they've been stuck there. Like, they've just been stuck there. Like, there's no more train tracks. They have not yet to keep going. We've almost lapped them. It's almost been a year. It's getting a little crazy. I have pants on, but she's not. She's wearing... She's fine. She's cute. She's hot. Oro's fine. Anyway, yeah, so I had a guy talk to me a couple months ago, and I apologize for the delay in this video, but I had a guy talk to me. He's like, hey, I'm from Xbox. I want you to do a video about the Xbox community and just, you know, have a look at things. Me and him had a discussion back and forth. You know, I asked him very simple questions, and he gave me the answers I wanted, and it was very interesting to learn about what life is like on that side, how things are. Like, I played on Xbox for like a day, and I got to meet some of their better players. I talked with some 115s that were there, and that's the highest. I looked at bazaars. It was a really fun time. I got to look at what people were selling stuff for, how much OC they were selling stuff for, all that stuff. I'm glad to hear that. Big fan, Cheeks. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. And, you know, I went on Xbox. I played with some of my subscribers over there. You know, Rhyme and all those people, lots of great people. We took pictures. It was a good time. I made it to like level 50 in a couple hours. I got a Neko mod. It was a really good day. It was a really good day. I bought a dancing water recipe. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, like he came to me, and I have his messages here. He was completely anonymous. I'm not gonna read them, you know. I'm not going to read them word for word, but I will paraphrase what was said, and that's what we want to talk about here. So, you know, I'm just going to skim this forth, and then I'm going to just reiterate what I want to say here. He says, I would like to see a video on the topic of your opinion of Xbox future, and where do you think it would be heading? Rumors have been going around that during the next month they'll update the European Onigiri servers, which happened. Europe Onigiri Xbox exists. And there was this rumor going around that if you play the Europe Onigiri, it says that the Miyamoto event, because they started in Miyamoto, they didn't start in Echigo or Edo or anything like that. They started straight in Oshu with Miyamoto. So they skipped out on outfits. They were just, you know, content pushed up until the Miyamoto part, so they don't have access to angel costumes, bunny costumes, all that stuff we had at the beginning. They have their own thing. They have their own OC campaign with their own unique items and stuff, but they started directly with Miyamoto, and that was interesting. Like, when I learned about that, I was like, whoa, like, they're starting at a later date. That's smart. But I mean, it's a good thing they started with Miyamoto and didn't just jump to Sasuke, because then they mess up with Miyamoto and people would hate it and it would be a big mess. So, you know, good job on Onigiri's part starting there, because they don't want to start back there and start dealing with crap builds. They want to start right then and there with 105s, you know, Oshu, 105s, Vanguard, perfect time to be in. Anyway, that update there said, if you go and look at it, it says Miyamoto was supposed to last, you know, the update was until May 17th. And now we're in June. Today is the first day of June. And, you know, so a lot of us had thought, well, they're probably going to want to sync up European Onigiri with American Xbox Onigiri. And, you know, they think, well, okay, well, they'll update them at the same time. So if the Miyamoto event's supposed to end, you know, Dagger's Peak, all that stuff, then they'll update them at the same time. Fight the good fight, yeah. And, you know, they thought, okay, well, when they get their update, we'll get our update. Well, newsflash, you guys are caught up, because there is no update. The game has not yet been updated. Maybe there's going through QR. I don't know. This video could be updated tomorrow. Could be updated today. Could be outdated is what I want to say. They could get an update, you know, and everything could change. But as of right now, you know, a lot of Xbox US players thought, okay, when they get their update, we'll get our update. Well, the harsh truth is, none of you have gotten your updates. They just sold the game twice. and they're still in the same conundrum because for whatever reason, and it's fully my belief that the reason Xbox has yet to go to the moon is for several reasons, actually. The number one reason is because Xbox can't handle the moon. They can't handle Dew Creek. They can't handle Gun Benkei shooting 15 bullets without blue screening. That's my firmest belief, is that when the QA team tries to play the moon, Xbox can't handle it. For whatever reason, a game that works on PC, on a Microsoft computer, will not run on a console made by the same company and all that stuff. You know, on the same, technically operating software, because if you ever watch the original Xbox One videos, their debut, they had like little booths set up everywhere, and there was this one guy tripped or something, and he pulled the face panel off, and the Xbox One was a hollow case, and inside was a computer running everything. So it doesn't make sense that the Xbox One cannot run anything in Onigiri to this finest extent. Like PS4 can do it. What's PS4 doing the Xbox One isn't? What is I don't know what it is. I mean, you can't just hire a handyman to come on over and just like fix it. That's my firmest, that's my fourth, like, what's that word? That's my first held belief of why there's no updates. So LM is bringing up the next point, which is the GG, which is the God glitch as it's called, the manipulation of RNG, the ability to soft reset normally permanent decisions and re-roll things until you get maximum, up until your stamina allows you to. Basically what that means is if you roll an ornamentation on a mag, you don't like it, you can continuously re-roll it by resetting your game over and over and over through the use of single mode until you get your desired result, hit save, go into the second slot, and you just go on from there. So you could get mags with 48 element and affinity, and mags with like max HP, max crit, max slice, all those different combinations. You could get whatever you want. Like normally risky ornamentations, like Yggdrasil, which is a skill force ornamentation, they could do it perfectly twice and get like 56 skill force onto a Gemini or something, and it's just like, whoa, that's crazy. So there's that whole element where it's like, well, they're using an exploit to achieve near perfection in a game entirely crafted upon RNG. So there's a problem there. Like on PS4 we don't have that. PC, they don't have that to my knowledge. I've heard of things that they can do, but it's not really that important. You know, like it's far more widespread on Xbox, where it's like, and that's what I really asked him about. Was I asked him, so how do people view it? How do people approach this glitch? How do people approach this method, this my way or the highway? Some people think like that, some people don't. He told me some people are disgusted by it. He told me some people weren't. So basically, some of the questions I asked him were, I asked him these questions. I said, essentially, how does everything work? How the glitches can be used and to what extent, like smelting, ornamenting, identifying, rolling tickets, how players feel about it, how they would react to losing single player mode, the general attitudes of Xbox players, the general player base, politics, things like that. Yeah, so LM's just backing up, saying the same thing, yeah. He's just confirming it. So those are the questions I asked, and he dutifully, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but they dutifully answered them to the best of their ability, and it gave me a very, I want to say not in-depth, but a very accurate depiction of how things run over there. So, in-game wise, and I'm going to read this one word for word because it's still anonymous and it's just his answers, and it's beautiful. It's not beautifully written, but it's very accurately well done, and I'd like to share that. So he says, basically, every high player uses GG, known as God Glitch, by using the single player feature. It all works out depending on what time zone your Xbox is set to. GG can work for smelting, ornamenting, identifying, and rolling gacha tickets. So by rolling gacha tickets, what's that mean is if you have a gacha ticket, since it is an item, you can use it, roll the cat, and this works for SP and normal gacha tickets. You roll the cat. If it comes out good, then you accept the roll. If you don't, you perform the GG again, go back, you still have your ticket in inventory, and you try again. This does not work with OC because that is tied to your account, which is something server side, not player side. That's the whole thing of it, is it affects things that are done player side, things like ornamenting, identifying, all that stuff, but things involving OC is server side, and that's different. So that's an extension, that's just me adding that. So only Gen 1 and 2 can do that. So that's what Dream Solar's saying, only Gen 1 and 2. I don't know what that means, but I guess it's like generation players, I guess. we'll get to that soon. I just want to continue with this this message that he had given me. So he says it will not work from Rolling OC. From what I have heard, it was discovered on the JP version of Xbox, and players from there found out it can work on the English version as well. To perform GG, say I want to do ornamentation on a 105 Magatama. I would go to Kaguya, make sure I have all the required materials for the ornamentation, then go to single player. Once it's single player, you normally choose the ornamentation, and if you do not get the roll you are wanting or it breaks, you quit out of the game. Start the game again, return to single player, and repeat till you have what you want. GG does not work for every player, but does for most. Again, depending on what time zones they have it set for. For me, my GG works on all smelting, ornamenting, identifying, and rolling tickets. GG can also be used for Moroku's bargains. All you do for that is, say, buy 2 things from his bargains in multiplayer, then from that, go to single player, buy the same 2 things, and from there also. Then go back to multiplayer and repeat. The items will keep coming back. So, as for how the players feel about it. There are people who absolutely despise us, and there are people who said that they will quit the game if they lose it. Which, yes, even if I have used GG, I'm not going to quit the game. I love it too much. GG was never meant to be in existence anyway, and that's a very important part, is that GG, although it's an exploit, and most games have exploits, they're not part of the original, intent of the game. Like, if I designed a game, and then it's like, it's based around RNG, and it's mostly based around the money-making formula of Onigiri. It's like, hey, buy band-aids, buy buttons, you need to protect yourself, you need to buy lots of skill cards in case things don't work out, all that stuff. If your first weapon doesn't get the right skill changes, you got to start over. That's basically like the money side of Onigiri, how it works. We've come to accept that, but GG kind of fights against that in a way where it's like, hey, well, we don't really need to buy band-aids, we don't need to do that. And it's like this external, not external, but it's just not part of it's not part of the original intent of the game. So to continue on, he says people who just quit because of the glitch being removed is sad. Very few have quit and are hoping that changes with the update and its release of the EU server. So this was sent to me before like 2 months ago, like I said. But I did miss a line reading that, and I apologize. He says, very few have quit because of the rumors of GG being gone. Others quit for the most part due to the horrible lack of updates and just problems like that. So he says, like, a lot of people would be fine if the GG got patched out or fixed or whatever, but most quit just because there's no updates and the game's been stuck in 2015, 2016 for like a whole year now. Like, it's time to go to that next step, and it's just not happening. And a lot of people that's one of the reasons they quit, is just lack of content. Like, they could be the gods they are, but if all you're doing is fighting new until you're 115, which literally takes a day, there's not really much to go there to satisfy, human experience. He goes on to say, the general attitudes of Xbox players, where do I start? Being a regular myself, I'm one of the ones that sits back and quietly observes people's conversations. The temporal rift, much like ours, is a hot spot for hanging out and communicating with each other. Onigashima too, but not as much. I've seen people talk bad on each other's builds and talk about how they can hit damage cap. Yes, even I think that's pathetic. Comparing people's things, which you can cheat to get them. There are very few players who overprice items in their stalls to rip others off. And there is one player that charges for carries. I would never charge anyway. He's just going on about himself here. I'm just going to skip that for a bit. That happens here too. People do that. It's not right, but people will always say, like, hey, carry me in this. Like, okay, give me $10. It's like, no, fuck off. And that happens. Okay, so moving on. There are players who will buy all of their gear. There's some players that just come in and buy all the gear because they can't farm it themselves. That's fine. That's just, some people are like that, some people aren't. If we had the option, I'm sure we'd have a lot over here too. Another thing to mention about the Temporal Rift is that it has stages of people there. We call them rifters, same thing as us, which are people who just spend time there talking instead of playing the actual game and trying to get better. It happens. He says the stages in there is either drama, weird immature acts, role-playing, being silent, or normal, but there are nice people that are regulars and are not jerks. It's obvious, it's people. Player base, we have around, I'd say, around, he said, at the time, 2 months ago, he said there were about 30 to 40 level 115s. Some of them don't play anymore till the update is released. Others, like I mentioned, quit earlier. And when people quit, they sell their gear for real life money. So, you know, you put up a bargain, you put up something in stalls, and then you, what was it? They put up stalls for min, and then they sell the difference on PayPal. It happens on PC. It happens all the time. It's obviously the most logical choice, because if you're planning on quitting, you don't want more OC. You just want to, hey, buy this Brigandia, like plus 100 with like the best skills ever, and you know, I'll sell it to you for like min, and you give me like $20 on PayPal. It's like, okay, cool, and they'll do that instead. So that's the general, that's not even Xbox exclusive. Like if we have trade, we'd see it too. It's just common human experience to do that. You know, it's logical. If you're gonna leave, you don't want money that's only for there. Like if you're trying to leave your country, if you're trying to go from Canada to the US, you don't buy a bunch of Canadian money, you buy US money. You know, that's just how it is. So after that, he says, even though I'm an Xbox player, I hope you don't hate me. I don't hate him at all. I don't know where that stigma comes from, but and then there's just saying a little bit about himself. So, and I answered that. Yeah. So that's really cool. I can't wait till he sees this. So Rift is for losers. All right. So back to you guys. So I read that out. And if you guys have any opinions about that, by all means put them forth. And I may have missed a couple of comments because I was looking away from my screen, and for that I apologize. But Rift has a lot of chillers. People are just there. Rift in general, my general view of the Rift is sometimes you just go there when you're tired. You go there just to sit down, like a bar. You know, when you're feeling down, you just go. Maybe something entertains you. Maybe something gets you. You just go there to listen. You know, everyone spent a day or two in the Rift. Not even that much, like a couple hours or whatever. But you know, what we generally say now is like the Rift is where you go when you give up. When someone can't find their mags, they just go sit in the Rift for a bit. You know, you've had a hard time, you just go sit in the Rift. Like you just do it. Like it just happens. It's fine. But if you stay there too long, well then it's just, you know, you've turned the game into like a chat, like a chat forum instead of a game. You know, you just go in there listening. So the Rift can be, yeah, I agree. So that's generally how, you know, stuff on Xbox works. How GG works. It's you know, like I said, it's re-rolling things. It's soft resetting. It's literally Pokemon soft reset. And I want to know if I can find a comment I made, because someone had watched one of our old videos, and someone in the stream had talked about how they dislike GG and all that stuff, and they said they should grow balls and play the game for what it is and all that stuff. Did you know Xbox has a bizarre glitch too? By all means, go on, interrupt me right now. Let's go. So I use US servers. If they release PS4 Europe servers, I might move. I mean, why not? Like, I've seen players, I'll tell you this right now, I've seen players on PS4, go from level 1 to 120 in a month. Like, it's not that bad. If you know what you're doing going in the game, and you got some money to spend and buy Vanguards and accessories and stuff, like, if you started the game right now on PS4, and you had, like, $600, you buy Ifrit, you're golden. You get Ifrit and Sasuke, the game is yours. The game is yours. You'll be fine. You will not encounter a bad day. Multi-Bazaar opens? Oh, okay. I've heard of the thing, they do this on PC too, where normally a bazaar is only open so long as you are logged in the game, but some players will open a bazaar, go through a portal, cut their internet, and they just stay there. You know what I mean? Like, and the bargain will be there, then they can open a new one, or something like that. But please elaborate. Please elaborate. You love my level? Thanks. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then what some people will do is, and it's a beautiful technique, I wish we could do it, it's for items that they fit their cap, you know. You have too much stuff on you, like Idama or things like that. They'll sell like 999.999, like max Idama, and then when they close their bargain, it goes back to their present box. So that way they have, you know, 999 Idama in presents, and it just lets them hold extra stuff, and it's beautiful, it's awesome. I wish we could do that. Like, if I could outsource Mill Chest, I would do that. I would put mill chests. I mean, you probably can't sell mill chests, but I would love to just put mill chests in my storage box. Like, I would just never need Ryu again, ever. I would just have a billion chests. It'd be great. Yeah. That's fine, Radic. I mean, the Rift is a hub place, but, you know, it's like I said, it's like a bar. You got a 5th Saratobi from the SP ticket. That's awesome. That's awesome, High Mage. Saratobi is going to be great. Don't mess with Sasuke. He's going to be great. He's going to be awesome. He's going to be great. Mine's almost leveled up so I can use my scrolls and have a 4 scroll until 150 comes out, so I can't wait for that. So, but yeah, I was really perplexed that that Xbox didn't get an update when Europe did. Like not Europe didn't. That's what I'm saying. But kinda. But it works with expired Bazaar tickets. Okay, yeah. I get that. I get that a lot. You're gonna sub? Thanks, Radic. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, Hunter. We went over all of it, man. Well, I mean, we just got started. We're having the discussion now. Like, so let's ask myself the question. So let's say I was on Xbox for, you know, let's say I was on Xbox for like a year, and there was no updates, and I saw that PS4, and let's say I have both consoles, and I do. Let's say I have both consoles, right? So, you know, would I ever make the plunge or make the jump to go to the other side? And the answer is always, do I have friends over there? Like, the main reasons why we play Onigiri is not for our personal, just I want to be the best in this one game, all that stuff. You know, generally why we play Onigiri is because we play the game, and we meet friends on the game, or we just have friends that play it, and we want to be with those friends. Because overall, I want to say, in most games, it's not about the game itself. It's very rare that someone just gets, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but they get so consumed by a game just for the game itself. I'd rather say that the reason, you know, we play a game is to be with our friends. So some would say, like, you know, I should go to Xbox so that I can trade and, you know, get perfection and all this stuff. Like, there's this thing. It's like, well, PS4 doesn't have trade. We don't have trade. Every other console has trade. So why not go to those other consoles? Well, the thing is, PS4, it's, you know, it's what you have. Some people prefer gaming with a controller. Sure, you can game with a controller on PC. Some people don't have good PCs. Some people don't have an Xbox. So they stay on their one console. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very broad claim to say that everyone who plays an Xbox should come to PS4. Not everyone who has an Xbox has a PS4. And and the vice versa isn't true as well. Not everyone who has a PS4 has an Xbox, and not everyone who has a PC has either. Generally, everyone has a computer, but it's not specifically a gaming computer or something that can run Onigiri to a viable state. So, you know, like, let's say for one day that, you know, we were stuck in Edo we were stuck in Echigo for, like, because we were stuck in Echigo for 6 months, right? Let's go back then. So let's say, oh, there's an update coming to Xbox, and PS4 has no words of Xbox, and the update drops for Xbox, and they have it for 2 months, and we get nothing, right? Let's say PS4 is still there. And then me and my friends that play PS4, they're like, hey, you know what? Like, we should just get an Xbox and go play there. They're getting constant updates. We should just go there now and hang out there. And some people might say yes, some people might say no. If the majority say no, then we wouldn't. It really comes down to who you are as a person. Like, if you prefer your friends over just the game, like if you exist to play Onigiri just to play Onigiri, then you won't care about what console you're on so long as you get to play your Onigiri. But if your main focus is your friends, and I'm not trying to shame people as like saying, hey, you're in this camp or you're not this camp. I'm just saying if most of your friends or people you cherish, people you play with, are on Xbox or PS4, you know, you're generally going to stay with your friends over going to the other thing. I think the problem is Cybercept can't fix GG without corrupting the original save. That is possible. I've been here over a year on Xbox and I have a PS4. I play them both at the same time, but I'm stronger on Xbox with stuff to do still. So you're standing next to me? That's so cool, Piru. There you are. Oh yeah, you whisper at me sometimes. It's fine, Radig. You can get level 100 eventually. Don't worry about it. Go at your own pace. So moving on about that. Why are people coming to my door? Don't they know I'm making a video? If all your friends went to Xbox, I would not. I'm PS4 user since PS1. Well, that's another thing. There's heritage, all that stuff. Why does he make his players stand all the time? She must be tired? Well, she's not going to sit. I don't have a keyboard plugged in. So what happened to Xbox? Well, nothing. That's generally the answer is what happened to Xbox? Nothing. Nothing happened to Xbox because nothing happened to Xbox. You've been playing for 5 days? That's not bad. That's pretty good. Sell you cookies. Maybe. I don't know what they were here for. But yeah, like, I was surprised. Like, I'm going back to the main thing here. Is, now mind you, I don't have a script ever, like, this, so I have to keep reminding myself and remembering and going on track at my own pace. But like I was saying, there was the whole theory where European Xbox, they said that their update was going to happen, that Miyamoto was going to go away on the 17th of May. And the 17th, or was it May or April? I don't really remember. It might have been April, it might have been May. Someone would have to correct me. But ultimately the point is that never happened. Miyamoto is still there. European Xbox is as caught up to American Xbox as they are. See, I have both PS4 and Xbox. I play Xbox because I have OC and sunk a lot in Xbox. That's another point, is you're far too invested. Like, me too, I'd be like, well, I put $200 in this game, I'm not going to just jump ship. And then it's like, ooh, shiny, let's go over there. Like, that's a very hard debate, is saying, oh, I'm going to go from one to the other. That's entirely on a person. But there are, I want to say, a number of Xbox players that have migrated to PS4 and are doing well. One that I've talked to is a Dragon Gremory. He's a spear user, he's 120, he's got, I want to say, a couple 105s, I'm not sure of his build, but he's doing pretty good for himself. Even without trade, he's adjusted well. He says, like, it's great, but I hate the RNG. I was talking to him one day, he's like, it's great, but I hate this RNG, I hate this, like, how shit my stuff is. He's like, but I'm doing fine, it doesn't make sense. Like, he's doing good. I think he's purchased a couple Vanguards, I think. Like, he's come over pretty well. Dragon's right beside you? Cool. Cool, say hi to him. Bruh, hey bruh, you have a question. So what is the end goal of the game once you get everything, and are the countless hours worth the end goal? So, that's a really good question. I like that, bruh. I like that. So, what is the end goal? There is no end goal. I want to say that in Onigiri, if you have an end goal, you're doing it wrong. That's how I see it. Like, I've talked to some people, and some people will tell me, well, my goal is, he said, my goal was I want to get my 105 mags, they said, I want to get my 105s, I want to get my Gargs, I want to help a couple people, then I want to leave. And then they were asking me to help them do that, and I'm just like, well, why would I help you do that when you're a failed investment? You're not going to be here a month from now. You know, if you just want to get powerful to help people, then leave, you know, well, you know, I'm not going to really invest my time in you. The people that I want to invest in are people I want to see have fun in the game. They want to play it every day, all that stuff. But, back to end goal, like, let's say they take away GGing. What about the power gap between new players and the players at GG? Well, okay, so that's more on topic, and I want to get to that. I completely forget what I was just talking about. Let's talk about that. Okay, so we're talking about end goals and stuff. The end goal is literally to be strong, have friends, and have fun. It's an MMORPG. That's generally how they work. Is you want to play with people, you want to have fun, you want to be strong enough to continue through the stuff, and just keep playing with your friends. That's pretty much what it is. But you said, what about the power gap? So here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing about why Xbox doesn't get updates. Is now, we said this before they got, like, Oshu and stuff. Was, so let's say this point, is, well, if they have GG and they have, you know, perfect Amaras and all that stuff, well, we really dreaded when they got to 105s, because then they'd have perfect 105s, and that'd be crazy. You know, 105s just can't be made every 5 seconds, you know. They're not like you get something in bargains every day. You have to work for them. They're awesome. They take time. So, but that happened. People have perfect 105s. Okay, so there's a power gap there. People have perfect 105s, perfect 4th mags, all this stuff. People have perfection, and then there's the people that don't. So the power gap would be like, here's the reason why they can't go to the moon. Here's the other reason. So let's say that Xbox goes to the moon and then they're able to craft perfect fuse mags. Well, then they're never going to, the power gap will never be saved, because the majority of people would just play fuse mags. More players will become riffrats if GG is taken away. Well, that's a mentality problem, Ray. That would be a mentality problem, because no one on PS4... Now, here's the biggest argument, is that no one on PS4 has access to GG or trading. So anyone who's anyone on PS4 has earned everything 100% themselves. There is the small argument that you can get carried for things, but you still need to buy drop boosts. You still need to be there. You still need to do everything yourself, whether you're the one doing damage or not. The argument that without this glitch, without trading, without... I'm not saying trading's never going to be taken away, but without GG, to say that someone would be powerless is complete falsitude, because on PS4 it has been done by 80, 100 players. We've done the math. There are 80 to 100 very well powerful enough players. And I want to go show how that works. So how we really keep track of how strong people are is there is the Mephistopheles dungeon. When you fight Mephistopheles the first time, sure, you have access to Azura, but it's still a difficult fight. You need mags to back it up. You need a build. You need weapons. But when you fight Purple Mephi for the first time, you cannot do it in a party. You cannot be carried. It is the grand wall of the game. So if I just want to go to any dungeon right now. I just want to click on anything. What is it? Wednesday? Sure. I want to go to rankings. So on PS4, let me just... how do I find this? It's like down at the bottom somewhere. So we can keep track of everyone who's completed this one dungeon, and generally speaking, if you've completed this, then you're good. Temple of Dancing Shadow, oh my god. They're putting everything in this game. Haibo Temple, Oyeba, holy shit. Mount Kuruma Rai Shrine, Reizu Island. Wow, they sure added a lot of things. The Contract Realm Stamina. I'm not sure which Contract Realm it is, tell you the truth. Did they take it out? Oh, Contract Realm, okay. So what's this one? Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so there's 60 players who have done this. Go to page 2. You need one of my elixirs? You can have it. Page 2, 96. So that's it. That's literally it. Like, there's supposed to be 120 people. There are 96 people who have cleared this dungeon. And in our view, these are all the arguably best players in the game. They are the end game. They are the really powerful ones. You know, the 120, the 118 plus that have their builds going for them. So, you know, if you go to the start, 1 to 6, there's people who can do it in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You know, so on and so forth. Some names are recognizable, some aren't. My time here was 16 minutes. I was, like, messing around. I was not having my time here. There you are. There's Gangsta Man. There's Randale right there, 9 minutes. So, this dungeon is Purple Mephistopheles, like, the second time you fight him in the Rift. So, there's everyone's first, like, not first attempt, but their first time clearing it. That was their time. You know, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 16 minutes, all that stuff. All really depending if you knew how to fight him and all that stuff. So 13. Generally, it doesn't matter what their times are. This isn't some grand ranking scheme. Some players know the matchup before others went into it. All that stuff. But basically, there I am at 16 minutes. But the general point here is that every single one of these players has passed this test. So you have generally, well, 100 players minus a few who start going into the 20, 30, 40 who start spending OC and soul eggs, and maybe he fell asleep in this dungeon, I don't know. But generally speaking, there are around 100 very strong players. But the main point of that was to say that without GG, you are powerless is a false. It's falsitude. It's false rhetoric. It's that's like seeing a millionaire and saying you're no good a person because you work at McDonald's. You know, like it's like, well, they have this, I'll never be as good as them. It's like, well, you know, you don't need that. It's probably a bad analogy, but you know, it's more of an analogy by comparison, saying people that don't have it and do have it, there'll be a power gap, all that stuff. I think anyone can be strong so long as they know what they're doing. So that's basically what I wanted to say there. So let's go to that argument though. If they take out the GG, what happens? So if they take out the GG, that means you know, if they take out the GG, then our player is powerless. No. And there's going to be a time when, because of how the game constantly evolves, sure, you could, let's say GG is removed at Moon, that everything after Moon is the same as PS4, RNG-wise, crafting-wise, ornamenting-wise, all that stuff. Some players, if they want Fuse, they might not even want Fuse. They might stay at 105s. Well, then some players who want Fuse, when they go to the Fuse meta, it's like a whole new world where no one has that perfection unless they are really lucky or just grind really hella hard. So at that point, you know, it causes a reset. So then it all just comes down to player skill, player ability. Yes, some weapons would be stronger. Absolutely. People that high roll their Gargs and getting crazy attack on them will still have an unclear advantage. That's perfectly right. That's perfectly true. Mags aren't everything. But when it comes to the new weapons, you know, if someone who wants to go pursue Mephistopheles, Completion, Nadir, Blood Chain, you know, Blood Rapier, all that stuff, you know, every subsequent weapon, Lucifer weapons, you know, 117 weapons, all that stuff are going to be at a different scale than 105s. 105s might be stronger, but if you want the next level gear, if you want a reason to play the new content, that new content would be excluded from the GG. So then it creates a renaissance, if you would, of players. You're right in a pro stream. But that's how I see that would happen. Now that's only on the hypothetical that they take away single player mode. Now here are the pro and cons why they won't take away single player mode. One, it's an Xbox contract to have it. They're the only console with it, and you could technically argue that it is like additional content that is exclusive to one and exclusive to others. Or not exclusive, but unincluded. They don't have it. So then, you know, I wanted to just make the claim where it's like you have one set of Olympics. It's like when you have, you know, when you have male Olympics and female Olympics, you know, they don't compete amongst each other on average. They're mixed by all means, but generally speaking, each, you know, sex participates amongst each other. And some people have seen the stories where you have someone who identifies as a man, participates with women, dominates the women, or vice versa. If you want to say the same, that's fine. I'm not trying to promote some agenda here, but it happens. You know, you have like that happens. So like if you have someone with GG and then people that don't have it, and then they all compete at the same time, well then there's going to be a clear disadvantage. And you know, it doesn't work that way. The leaderboards are you know, console based, platform based, whatever you want to say. Anyway, you know, for that gap, like it only goes so far as Gargs are involved, because they're the only weapons. They start getting Dragon Arcs, well they'll like if the GG is removed, then Dragon Arcs would be the same as ours. You know, everything would just have this gradual reset. There'd be some godly Garg weapons, but that'd be about it. Like there'd be nothing else to really have apart from gargoyles. Like that's their epitome of weapons. That's their pinnacle of them. But so can you get to, for example, your level without spending money? Yeah, it would take you a long time. So what he said there, in 2 years, yes, it would take a long time, but it is doable. It would just take a long ass time. So returning to the point of why they would not remove it is, for one, it's an Xbox contract to have single player mode. So it has to be there. Either they have to change their contract, and either they're waiting for the contract to expire. I don't know the inner workings of it, but single player mode is indeed a problem. Now, I still believe, like I said earlier in the video, that the main reason why they're not getting updates is because Xbox can't handle the moon. So, like, I just don't know. Like, I've played Xbox. I ran Byakuya Cavern normal, and my game started lagging and teleporting, and I was dying for no reason. There's no way an engine like that can support Dew Creek, can support Benkei Factory, can support Palace of Rain. There is no way in hell they will support 50 Benkei shooting. The game will crash. And I want to firmly believe that it's just that Xbox cannot process, that Q&A can never certify the update because Xbox hardware cannot process the moon, and Cyberstep can't figure out how to turn the lag down. Like, they can't just, like, they'd have to introduce a whole new type of Benkei that just shoots one bullet, and that'd be it. And it wouldn't even be that. It would just be this big problem. Like, Dew Creek would not even work. There's too many grays. They'd have to water down the game, and I don't know if they're prepared to do that. That's my firm belief. If that's the reason why there's no updates is they can't handle the next thing, then that sucks. So, and then if you go to policy stuff where it's like, well, we have glitches, we need to patch the glitches. We have, we have exploits, we need to fix them before things get too bad. And Cyberstep fully knows about them. Players have told them on Facebook, on Twitter, and they've gotten messages back about them, and they said, we're trying to figure out a way around it to fix things. We're not going to just delete their inventory. That's wrong. All this and that, it kind of sucks. Like, so there's all these other solutions. So let's assume that there's an update, a release, and Xbox can run the moon, but they want to get rid of GG. What do they do to close the power gap? Well, they can't unsmelt weapons. That would be unjust. What they could do is, unroll everybody's mags, like undo everyone's ornaments. I think it'd be wrong. It would be I think it wouldn't be right, but it would be less right than, allowing things to prosper. If you see evil and you do nothing about evil, then evil will prosper. It's evil to see evil and do nothing about it. It's better to say something and do nothing. But I'm not saying people that do it are evil. Obviously, if we've been asked the questions, if we could do it, a lot of us would. We'd be like, fuck RNG, I'm going in. I've been fucked in the ass so much, I don't care anymore. Let's go. So, and some people won't. It's all, it comes down to a person-to-person, not bias, but a basis. So, elixirs don't exist for me. Wow. So, like, let's say, like we were saying, that there is no, you'll pass on that. Absolutely, it's fine. So, for some of us, we'd be like, hey, can I just get my vet weapon, like, first try? Sure. Great. Some people won't really care about that. It's just saving a little time. But, where did I want to go with this? People who keep their GG 105s and don't move forward to the fuse, exactly. That's the main point of it, Penguin. That's exactly right. Is they miss out on the cooldown. They'll never get that cooldown. That's so appealable. Now, yeah, that's one point. But some people can do 105s, have perfect 105s, and they'll be fine. They'll prosper. A lot of people would compromise their 105s because they had really good Amaras and stuff. Like, I've seen it. People would go confining on their 105s just to be able to still use their godly mags they worked on in the past. But Onigiri's sort of like card games where they release new sets that they just make other sets obsolete as they produce more and more and more. And Onigiri is sort of like that. It'll happen. So we got Unicorn coming in, lots of people coming in. 120, look at that. Holy God. So what about players who help out players between the gap? Well, that's not going to change. People help people anyway. That's a person-to-person thing. Glitch or no glitch, You know, people with power who help people without are great people. You know, and like I said, everyone on PS4 has not glitched or anything, and we're still powerful, plenty strong, and we help out people we deem worth helping. You know, we don't just... Like, that's a weird thing to say, but... It's you. Hey, Ceci. Hi, Ceci. So, I feel like I keep saying something, and then I never finish what I'm saying, and then I look at the chat and I forget. I feel like that's happening a lot. But, what did you just... Your friends hate on Onigiri because RNG is that because we're black. Well, RNG doesn't care if you're black or white or yellow or purple. It thinks all of us are attractive and worth fornicating over. Yeah, so... Like, we talked about what happens if there is an update, but they take away GG, or if there is no update, but they don't take away GG. Let's talk about the third scenario, where there is an update, and they still have GG. Well, at that point, well, then they have perfect fuse, they have, you know, perfect dragon arcs, perfect, you know, everything. Let's just say nothing ever changes, and the game stays as it is, then they'll continue to have, I'm not doing ASMR. You know, well then at that point, then all hell is lost, you know, or so we'd say, but then Tempest comes around and, you know, but it doesn't matter. If the glitches stay forever, then there's nothing to do. It's just the game will be as it is. It is its own entity, and it cannot be compared to the others. That's all that would happen. The Mephi solo entrance is, I don't know. Mephi solo? To fight Mephi, you gotta go to, like, Sakurajima or Yamatai Koku Underground, I think? I don't really remember. There's a lot of people here, my god. Someone's hiding behind me, too. It's kind of cool. We're all in like that Power Ranger assemblement. Oh, they're referring to stamina? It's Sakurajima, yeah. Does GG make it a bad game? It really depends on the person. Honestly, it's not how the game's meant to be played, and they didn't adapt to it. The thing is, Cybercept neither endorses it nor de-endorses it, to say it lightly. Like... If Cybercept was in favor of it, they'd implement GG on every console. But Cybercept is not in favor of it, so they keep it confined to one area. It doesn't matter how cool you look, we're all people. So, like, that's one way to look at it, is like, if it was socially acceptable, we'd all do it. But it's not, so we don't all do it. And even if it wasn't allowed, some people don't do it. It's sort of like... You know, in some countries, drugs are perfectly legal and you can go do them if you want, but some people, either way, don't do it. Same thing as cigarettes, drinking, all that stuff. Just because it's legal doesn't mean we do it. You know, and just because it's allowed, just because it exists doesn't mean, you know, just because it exists doesn't mean it's allowed. That's another aspect of it. So the 96 players you're talking about, where you fight him in the Rift? Yeah, that's the one where you fight him in the Rift. But look at my weapon. Weapons are weapons. Don't matter. You're eating a lot of food there. Oh my god. So... I was just about to say, what kind of questions do you guys have? So what do PS4 players think about us having GG? So, in general, I'll give you a couple of different perspectives. For the most part, some people will say that you guys are cheaters, you're too, you know, you're not man enough to play the game as it was intended, you need glitches to succeed, you're no good on your own, you brag about something that's literally cheating, things like that. That's one view of it. Some players are, well, we take pride in the fact that we don't need it to succeed. So... Some players are like, well, they have this, well, we don't, and we're still doing fine. We take pride in the fact that we don't need it. It's all person to person, but in general, Some people are like, huh, Xbox players need that to succeed. And I know it doesn't affect us either. And here's the main problem. It shouldn't affect us. But there have been times in the past where some of us who stream would get an influx of Xbox players come in, look at our stuff, and they'd be like, ha, you guys don't have perfect this. You only have 90 crit, not 99. And then it would go on from this to this. You only have this much skill force. You only have this much mags. You only have 1 Gallardios. All that stuff. So when you have people that cheat and are prideful of it, you hate the player for who they are. You know, like it's exactly what Life and Food Stamp's saying right there. So, yeah, exactly. It's not a console to console thing. It's not a grand generalization. It comes down to you hate people that are dicks, people that are boastful, people who are prideful in things they didn't truthfully earn. That's literally it right there. Anyone dislikes anyone who is prideful in things they did not truthfully earn. You know, people that like if you cheat for a score on a math test and you got 100, and you got a guy who studied his ass off and he got an 89, you know, the 89 is still confident in his 89, but he might be a little weary and distasteful towards the guy who cheated for 100. You know, and then you go to the same, then you put them in the same, let's say this is like a math course thing, right? Or like they go to the same, like let's say you have these two people, right? One guy who cheats to get his results, and one guy who gets his results naturally and through hard work and effort. You know, they both go into the same field, and buddy who's been doing it hard his whole life knows what to do. Guy who's cheating can get a fancy score and do things, you know, illegitimately, and only knows how to work with like pampered situations, would be seen differently by their boss. The boss would probably trust the guy who can do anything under any situation, compared to more of the more pampered guy who's used to near perfection and only has perfection. You know, like there's the guy who drinks like water from the stream, and then there's the guy who drinks only perfect mineral water that costs $5, but he gets it cheap because he knows how to steal it. You know, that's like two perspectives on it, and that's just a human nature thing. It has nothing to do with the game as a whole. So, okay, so what about players like you who look up to you guys to prepare myself? That's fine. Nico, I know you cheated for 1 pineapple. Why are you here? Why are you here? Nico, you asked Cyberstep for a pineapple and they gave it to you. But Hunter, I have nothing wrong with you. You're a person. You're a good guy. You help people out. That's fine. You know. So, Hunter, I think nothing wrong with you. So Penguin says, I was on PS4 streams and I was being nice, and then I mentioned I was on Xbox and they assumed I was going to brag and they're rude to me. Yes. You could. And that's honestly a better thing on your part. You're a better human being for it because you're a better man. But, you know, if you had, like, let's say you see a certain group of people and the majority of those people that you've had exposure with are assholes to you, then naturally, if you see more of them, you're going to assume the worst from them. But, you know, and that can be applied to many different things. So, you know, like that's just not, I don't want to say prejudice, but that's stereotypes. You know, stereotypes are true for a reason, but it's not always true. So, you know, you're going to be weary of people. You're going to be weary of people, you know. If that's all the exposure some streamers have had is from the bragging, boastful, spiteful players on Xbox that they've come to know, then they're going to start to assume the worst before they can experience the best of you. That's literally how I see it. You know, it's a very general statement. Well, Nico, we have origami now. Because I told them we didn't have it, and they put it in. And we told them, like the whole community told them we didn't have origami. We have origami now. You know, no excuses anymore. We have Onikage now, so we're getting seals like crazy. You know, like I just made a fuse last night. It was beautiful. So you've never heard of Xbox players bragging about mags before? Well, I've seen it. The day that we got one update and Xbox didn't get any update, like a lot of Xbox players came to my stream and started rioting. They literally started rioting. In my stream, they started talking shit to us, going off. They're on Facebook. I can pretty much tie the their Twitches to them, and I know who they were. But Yeah, I know they do, but you know, that generation of Xbox players might have died off due to just the spite of not getting anything. It could have happened. It was the Flame War. I know you're not getting any seals. Onimo Palace is a little hard, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Those people are asshats. They are dicks. Exactly. Wow, a lot more people are coming up here. That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't really expect to just see all these people. It's awesome. And I love that this stream had like 30 viewers. That was fun. So, that's pretty good. So, like, I wanted to continue. Does anyone else have any more comments or questions, things they want to bring up about anything? You know, like, how do you guys feel about this whole flame war console versus console thing? I purposely think it's dead in the ground, like, because it's gone so far that, you know, we just move on. Like, PS4 players, we don't care, because honestly, to tell you the truth, like, because of Xbox's lack of updates and development, it honestly feels like a third world country compared to PS4 and the pinnacle that is PC. You know, it's kind of weird. Is Ifrit worth it? Yes, Ifrit is completely worth it. Ifrit is amazing. I think it's unfair to give us only 1 to 5 per most runs of the time. Acorns suck, they do, but I'm 25% of the way to 1, so I'm pretty happy with that. Honestly, actually, to be honest, most people at Xbox are dicks, but there are a selective few that aren't dicks, and they're actually yeah, but that's people in general, you know. Whether it's like a merit, I don't know. It's you know, everyone flipped a coin one day and said PS4 or Xbox. That's the end to it. That's the end to it. Are there any godly bow users? Chaika's really good. Rain doesn't play, and Brim went twin. Select is coming back, and Select is doing really good. He's working on getting his completions now, and Select's doing great. But Rain and Brim went twin, and Rain doesn't play very often. Yeah. So, hey Ninja, how you doing? Also, is there a place I can donate for a keyboard? Radic, what do you mean a place you can donate for a keyboard? We're just waiting for an update, man. It's so I know, guys. As long as Oro stays on PS4, it's good. All right. There is a place you can donate. If you go to my actual channel, like if you click on my channel, the first video there is how to donate to Aurogiri, and it will lead. There's a link there that takes you to my PayPal, and you could donate something there. Put a message in there, and it would tell you. And you could tell me what you want me to do with the money, or if it's just in general. But yeah, there is totally a place to donate. Like there's a video on the channel. It just says how to donate, and you can go there, and it works. You just need PayPal for it. Paradise of Fallen Lightning is shit. It is completely bad. Don't use it. So, do you guys have any more things you want to talk about this situation? Like, I know we have a lot of Xbox people in the chat, and I really love that they're here. Any other comments you guys want to say? Like, you know, I feel like one of the reasons why, you know, we stay on our consoles, it's the whole thing of the toad in the pot of water. You know, a toad will jump out of a burning pile of water. You know, not a pile of water, a pot of water. He'll jump right out. But if a toad stays in a water that gradually gets hotter and hotter and hotter, he will stay there and burn to death because he adapts to it. Oh, there's Eva. No, I'm just making a video. People came here on their own. So, why am I talking about toads and frogs? Well, it's the whole thing, right? Like, a frog that... If a frog is in a pot of water that heats up over time, it'll stay there even if the water's burning. But if a frog jumps into a pool of water that's already burning, he jumps out. So that's the whole argument of, well, I was on Xbox from the start, even though things are getting pretty bad, I'm going to stay here because I've invested my time here. However, if you have a new player who comes to Xbox and says, oh my god, this is shit, you guys don't have updates, he jumps right out. That's literally the mentality of, I've invested a lot in this, I'm going to stay, versus, oh my god, let's take a step back, look around, this place is not good, there are other places I could be where I'm not just drowning in water. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that whole analogy, and applies perfectly fine here. Where PS4, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go to this pond. It's like, oh, well, I can't really trade in this pond, but the pond keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I like that. There's lots of updates in this pond. That's great. You know, and then you have PC, where it's like, oh my god, this ocean is fantastic. However, things are updated a little too fast here, and I can't support it. That's literally the only negative to PC. Is that they get so much new content that it's very hard to finance it, and you have to, like, not struggle, but you have to, like, almost slave yourself to do everything within their updates and all their events, because they have so many. So, that's pretty fun. So that's one of the ways I see it. So, wow, a lot more people are showing up. This is cool. So like I was saying, you know, the floor is your guys' now. Like, if you guys want to... Like, I've said pretty much what I've had to say. Is there anything you guys want to ask more? Like, I guess you just asked the question, if we had GG, would we use it? Probably. The people that could use it... Like, let's say everyone could use it. Some people probably would. And there'd probably be a divide. We'd look at someone's mags and be like, oh, well, you know, it's like, oh, well, you're doing this, you're kind of like cheating, and we disregard you. There would probably be a movement to blacklist people that do. I wouldn't be surprised. We'd have to see how it would develop on its own. It all comes down to it. I mean, like, if someone gets shit on for so many mags, they might just give up and go for it, you know? Would people blame them? Whatever. It all comes down to the person they are. Some people would be thoroughly against them. Some people wouldn't. Hey, Oro, if you're on this game waiting for an update, do you think we should get our update? Okay, Blake, you can't just keep spamming like that. And hi, Corn. I fully believe you guys should get an update, but I don't want you guys to get an update that just doesn't work. Like, you go to the moon and it doesn't work. Like... It's this weird thing where it's like, if you get a product, it should be the best product they can give you. You know? And yes, they are working on European PSN. They're working on that. And Nico asked earlier, is that an LSIN? Yes, it is one of the 3 or 4 LSINs that exist on PS4. I think it's the second LSIN. But yeah, it's LSIN Spear. Yep. There's a lot more people coming over here. This is really cool. But yeah, the floor is open to you guys. If you guys have any more comments or anything about this topic, I wanted to, like, reserve myself to make this video, like, for the one day I really knew what I was talking about. And some will argue I don't. Some will argue I would do. But the most important part is just knowing the conversation. So, you know, it's having it. So how do you guys... you know, any further comments or anything? We're about an hour in, and I really thank the 29, 30 of you guys that are here, watching, listening, supporting. Love it. I'm, like, protected by all these sword users and their Gallardioses and chains. The only thing I hate is that you can't get a Leo or a Cancer. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, Leo, you can go to Origami Magma. Cancer just takes time. Like, I have 2 Cancers on me to, like, 1 missing Leo. When the IFR update came, I went to PS4 to check it out, then went back to Xbox to let people know what's up ahead. That's fine. We do that with PC as well. If we see something coming, we look at it, we study it, and we prepare ourselves for it. That's natural instinct. That's great, Hunter. That's generally what you should do. Can you make a video telling people that the Ifrit dungeon is going away in a few days and that they should get their god? Yes, I've been meaning to do that, Eva. Absolutely. I've been wanting to do that too. I want to make a video on that too. Yep. Absolutely. I will do that. I need to make that PSA. Absolutely. Join the Oro fake. Hi, Rachel. There's so many people here. This is so cool. I don't usually do big streams in Onigashima. This is cool that people just keep showing up. It's really cool. I will totally do that, Eva. That is the perfect thing to suggest. I want to see what everyone's saying. Oh wow, it's not even loading anything. Is that really how shortening it? Oh, okay, I'm about to say. Am I pursuing the Fallen Star weapons? Yeah, once I get Fusion Bear. Is this a Oni mode video or an information video? This is an information video. Can I add you? You can certainly add me all you want. Whether I do anything with you is like case on case basis, but you can add me if you want. Don't take any offense to that, but you know, I have like hundreds of people on my friends list now. But if friends is all you want, that's great. My sword doesn't shine. You would mainly need help. Did my like ad not work? We are the sword committee. Princess Aurelia? Princess Aurelia. As fun as this is, I want to kind of take your guys' silence as a... I don't know. It is the busiest stream. It's been really awesome. Like for a Thursday afternoon, it's doing very well. It's doing very well. Do I add people in Onigiri? I do add people. Whether I play with them is very rarely I don't. Like, I'll add you as a friend, that's fine. But most of the times I won't really remember half the people who add me, tell you the truth. But I don't generally play with a lot of people. Like, if I see someone who needs like a lot of help, like someone says, hey, can you beat like Satan for me? I'll go beat Satan for you. Like, I'll do that. But like, I won't just sit there with you for like a couple hours and get you through something. Like, I make the videos to help people out with knowledge and how to get through the game. Like, that's what that's there for. You know, that's me helping people. But I can't just actively go out and do it all the time. There's a lot of people just coming on over. This is really cool. Hello, Princess Mist. You're working on making your warp spear? Nice. Me too. I think I saw the friend request. Wow, so many people here. Well, there's Eva. I thought she ran away. Can you have a cookie? No, all cookies go to Eva. Streams like these haven't happened for at least 6 months. Your videos explain everything. You're very welcome, Piru. I'm glad I appreciate that. Thank you. There's Eva. She's so pretty. So how do you guys feel? Do you feel like, you know, we've said everything we need to say in the stream? Like, I'm glad we went over everything in the early part of it. You are very late, Princess Mist. Like, do you guys have any further questions or anything at all? Anything you guys want to talk about? Can you have a shout out? I've said your name a lot of the times, Radig. You feel hungry? Oh, you can eat me if you want. Check your mags. Okay. I probably can't click on you, like at all. Forever alone. Kato Kiyomasa. Oh, 3 thunderquakes. Oh, good God. Well, that's a godly thunderquake. Can I have that? Give me that. That's a great thunderquake. And that's a great thunderquake. Your mags are beautiful. Your mags are beautiful. And your Gemini is very beautiful. How do you only have 30? Oh. Okay. I was like, how do you only have 50 crit? You have so much crit. Oh my God. Look at your 30k HP. Holy shit. That's amazing. Your mags are friggin' great. I made an awesome mag last night. It doesn't have HP, but I love it. I love it. I clicked on my clothing again, just like last night. But I made a new fuse last night. I love the rolls on it. I love it so much. Ooh. Look at this bad boy. 15 crit. Ugh, I love it. 7 crit, 8 crit. It was like nut after nut after nut. It was beautiful. I love it. Ugh, I don't have the HP, but goddamn, it's beautiful. It's 100 times better. Whew. I loved it. It was such a good stream last night too. Oh my God. My throat's getting a little dry, gotta tell you guys that. So, you know, we're starting to get to extra stuff here. I really want to think that, we've addressed everything we need to address in the stream and that it's sadly time to end it. I kind of don't want to, I want to keep this an isolated stream so that people who want to look at the debate, the argument, can come back to it later. You know, so I don't want someone to see like this like 3-hour video of us just like talking about the issue then just messing around later. So, so unless anyone has any further questions about the topic at hand or anything they want to add, I'm gonna end the stream in like 3 minutes. So you guys have 3 minutes. Someone says don't stop the stream. Oh, it's gonna end. I got things to do today. I mainly decided to stream because I was doing Katoki's dungeon and I DC'd and I said, well, I'm gonna make a video. Start a different one? I can't start a different stream because I got like other things to do. When's our next update? People are arguing the 7th and other people are arguing the a couple weeks after that. Two really good players quit. Who quit? Dream? Oh, see ya, Daydara. Mello, if you're on PS4, you can do the Ifrit dungeon and you'll level up to 100 in no time. When's Oda coming? 2 updates from now. Hi, hey, Dream. Like, someone hit you before the stream quits? What? Oh, you're on Xbox? Damn, Mello. I'd say for you, Mello, the best place to level up is, like, Echigo Estate or something. Not Echigo Estate, I'm sorry. War Bazooka on hard is the best place for you to level up if you can get there. But since you're only level 70, you gotta get to like Echigo State or something. You heard a rumor that they're gonna wait till September to get rid of single player and to do a full reset. I mean, if their contract were to expire in September, which it would make sense to have a 2-year contract, that would make the most sense. That would legit make the most sense. And if they do that, then everything will be fine. And then if people want to quit because they take away the glitches, then that's on them. If they don't, then they're a better person for it. You're very welcome, Mello. Okay, things are getting a little too silly, so... A full reset? We lose everything. Well, that's unjust. Alum, if you want, you can come to PS4, level up to 100 in a day, and you'd be fine. Peace out, Velvet. So I don't know about the whole full reset thing, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. But until now, I think I've said all I can really say about things, so... that said, I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you all have a really awesome day. Enjoy your Onigiri days. And make the best of everything. So I'll see you guys later.